Deep within the Mariana Trench, the Earth begins to fracture, releasing rivers of molten fire into the freezing, dark embrace of the ancient Pacific depths. The geological silence is shattered as tectonic plates groan and shift, signaling a disturbance that has not been felt for millions of years in this void. Massive steam pillars rise like ghosts as boiling magma meets the crushing pressure of the deep, creating a landscape of beautiful yet deadly underwater explosions. Beneath a layer of ancient sediment, a colossal entity begins to stir, its rhythmic movement shaking the very foundations of the underwater mountain ranges nearby. Thick tentacles, armored with prehistoric thorns, emerge from the silt, reclaiming a world that once trembled at the mere mention of this legendary sea titan. At a depth of 10,000 meters, the king of the abyss awakens as the shifting earth cracks open his long-forgotten, sunless tomb of stone. The Kraken, a sovereign of the deep, rises from the primordial sludge, its mountain-sized body dwarfing the surrounding coral forests and ancient stone pillars. With a grace born of power, it pulls itself from the depths, each movement creating localized currents that toss debris through the glowing green ocean water. Its golden eyes ignite with ancient intelligence and predatory fury, focusing on a strange, burning light descending rapidly from the world of the sun above. A low-frequency roar vibrates through the water, a sound so powerful it shatters nearby rock formations and echoes for hundreds of miles across the seabed. This prehistoric conqueror has been disturbed from its eternal slumber, and it prepares to defend its watery kingdom against the intruder from the stars. The Kraken senses a heat that does not belong here, a celestial fire that threatens to boil the very ocean it calls its home and sanctuary. High above the atmosphere, a celestial herald of destruction streaks across the sky, a flaming boulder of cosmic origin, destined for a violent oceanic impact. The multi-tentacled meteor strikes the surface like a divine spear, instantly vaporizing millions of gallons of water into a thick, blinding fog of steam. Descending through the layers of the sea, the meteor remains encased in a shroud of white-hot plasma, defying the cold pressure of the deep abyss. The cosmic rock begins to fracture, its outer shell peeling away to reveal a core of concentrated solar energy that pulses with a rhythmic mechanical heat. A cataclysmic collision rocks the ocean floor as the meteor lands, creating a vast crater that swallows the surrounding trenches in a cloud of dust. The stone fragments don't settle. They begin to orbit and lock into place, forming the massive, jagged body of the fire god, a celestial warrior. Standing tall amidst the wreckage, the fire god radiates a terrifying heat that turns the nearby water into a swirling, chaotic vortex of boiling bubbles. From the void of space to the heart of the ocean, this entity has come to claim the depths, carrying the unyielding power of the sun. The Kraken strikes first, its massive tentacles coiling around the fire god's molten limbs, attempting to quench the celestial flame with the weight of the sea. The contact between fire and water is explosive, sending massive plumes of steam into the water as the sea monster's flesh is seared by intense heat. The fire god responds with a devastating blow, a fist of molten basalt crashing into the Kraken's side with the force of a tectonic shift. The quaking impact sends the ancient cephalopod reeling, its massive form shattering stone pillars as it struggles to regain its footing in the shifting currents. Recovering instantly, the Kraken uses the ocean itself as a weapon, creating powerful whirlpools that toss the heavy fire god across the jagged trench floor. They move through the deep sea canyons like titans of myth, their combat creating shockwaves that can be felt by sonar stations halfway across the world. This is a collision of extremes, where absolute heat meets the crushing, suffocating embrace of the deepest ocean in a fight for total dominance. The Kraken unleashes its chemical arsenal, a stream of corrosive deep-sea acid designed to melt through the fire god's impenetrable outer shell of cosmic stone. With a surge of power, the fire god generates a thermal barrier, turning the acid into a harmless mist before it can reach its vital core. Energy gathers at the fire god's heart, a concentrated solar flare that begins to boil the surrounding water into a superheated radioactive plasma state. A beam of pure thermal energy erupts from the giant, slicing through the darkness and the Kraken's defenses with the precision of a celestial scalpel. Utilizing millions of years of evolutionary mastery, the Kraken vanishes into the shadows, becoming a ghost in the very trench it has ruled since time began. The predator strikes from the void, dragging the celestial warrior into the deepest, darkest cracks of the Mariana Trench where the pressure is most lethal. They plunge into the abyss's throat, a place where no light has ever touched, locked in a dance of death that threatens to tear the crust apart. This is no longer just a physical brawl. It is a war of survival between the ultimate predator and a being of pure, unbridled cosmic energy. Realizing the Kraken's strength, the fire god prepares for a final sacrifice, overloading its internal sun to create an explosion that will end it all. The outer shell shatters as the inner fire expands, turning the dark ocean floor into a blinding arena of white light and unbearable, searing heat. The final release of energy creates a shockwave that empties the trench for a split second, vaporizing everything in a massive, silent, and beautiful explosion. The Kraken is caught in the thermal blast, its ancient flesh turning to stone as it is fused with the cooling magma of the trench's floor. With its mission complete, the fire god's light dims, its cosmic essence hardening into a permanent monument of basalt and ash amidst the cooling water.